Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Kian. I make videos related to my faith, lifestyle, general advice videos, and my infamous, what does infamous even mean? I take that back. And one thing that I love to share on this channel is the Single Diaries, which is a series I do just chatting about the ups and downs of singleness. And when I refer to singleness, I'm talking about a season of singleness in my Christianity and in relationship with God, and just really focusing on becoming the best person I can and getting close to Jesus whilst waiting for what's to come. And I think on YouTube there are a ton of young Christian couples, married couples. However, it's pretty hard to find women our age who are going through seasons of singleness and sharing about it and sharing about the ups and downs. So I was like, you know, I don't see it out there, so I'm gonna do it because I need someone to talk to about this stuff, because a lot of my friends are married or engaged and I can't really relate to them on that level. So here I am talking to y'all about it. So I asked you guys on Instagram what you wanted to see, so be sure to be following me here, because that is where I will ask you guys and check in and just inquire about what videos you want to see next. You guys voted for a Single Diaries video, so that is what we're here to do. And let me tell you, this one is going to be pretty juicy as something interesting has happened recently. I would like to remind you that these aren't happening in real time, so before I post a video about this specific thing, I have had time to reflect and pray about what the situation was, and it happened a few weeks ago, just in case you're wondering. But it's kind of going to be like a story time video. We're just going to sit and chat about what recently happened, and if you can tell by the title, it is about dating a subscriber. So let's see, this was the 19th. So about 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I received an anonymous email, and it was a very long, thorough email, if you can see that. I will not be reading it, but it was basically like a love letter, or someone like confessing their feelings for me, but I had no idea who it was. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but just to give you a taste. I am completely and utterly in awe of your beauty. I mean, you're absolutely gorgeous in every way, from every angle. A strong woman is what you are, and that is what I need and want in my life. I'm completely inspired, intrigued, and infatuated with you. And when I say infatuated, I don't want to scare you or run you off in any way. I'm intrigued, and then, okay. So it goes on. It goes on for quite a while, like quite a few paragraphs. And it is signed, "Sincerely Your Future." So completely anonymous, and the email it was sent from doesn't have any personal information in it. So looking at this email, when I first read it, if I'm being very honest, I laughed. I just thought it was funny. I don't know. You have to understand, I am not a words of affirmation girl. So like, my ex-boyfriend would always write me these really long, sweet cards, which are nice. I mean, of course I do enjoy that. However, it's not my main source of like where I receive love from, is not words of affirmation. I feel like you could look at this email one of two ways. It could be very creepy, or on the other hand, you could look at it and be like, this is really romantic. And I was just like somewhere in between, like, yeah, this is a little creepy, but it kind of romantic. It really just depends on the intentions, and like who it is that's sending it, I guess. Because for all I know, this man could have been a 70-year-old guy who is catfishing. Like, I've watched the show Catfish, and I know what's up. I know what's up. So I don't know. At first I had no intentions of replying, but then I like talked about it with a couple of friends, and I was like, you know what? I'm intrigued, so I'm going to shoot my shot and just reply back. So I replied back with five questions or so, just to get more information on who this person was, because they expressed basically a lot of feelings for me. However, I had no idea anything about this person. I will say one red flag that I saw within the email, because maybe this will help you in identifying, is the word infatuation definitely set off my intuition of like, I don't really like that. And I say that because my last boyfriend, I think, was very infatuated with me, and it just wasn't healthy. I don't think infatuation is a healthy emotion, because I relate infatuation with lust, and the fact that this person had such strong feelings and words to send to me, and they had no idea who I was on a personal level, scared me. What is this? I never want to be lusted over. I want someone to really get to know me, because you might get to know me and not like me, and that's totally cool. But lusting over me is, in the past, has led to a really tough dynamic in relationships. So that's something I'm very cautious of. Anyway, so I ended up replying back, but that was the first little thing that I noticed. And I asked like 5 questions for him to answer so I could get more information on who he was. And then I think within the next email, he gave me his phone number and his first name. And with that information, let me tell you, this girl, I like to do my research. You're not gonna give me, I mean, I don't know if every girl's like this, but I'm looking at your Facebook, I'm looking at your mama's Facebook, I'm looking at your cousin's Facebooks and their profile pictures and your tagged photos and family members to figure out who you are, okay? I'm not joking around here. And I think it's fun to do that stuff. Anyways, but with these 2 pieces of information, I was able to do some sort of background check. I paid $1 for it, people, which was a waste of $1. You can figure it out. Just use the White Pages website. Anyways, from this research, I was able to get his last name, and I Googled him. No social media. However, there was one photo that aligned with his career field that matched up. And so I knew he was telling the truth about who he was. So, off to a good start, I guess. At least I knew he was who he was saying he was. Okay, so then I think we exchanged 2 more emails. And then at that point, he was very keen on wanting me, or wanting to like talk to me and pursue me. He just made it very clear that he was serious about wanting a relationship with me. And when he brought up he wanted to like come to Arizona and help me pack and just like really pursue me in person and get to know me in person, that's when I was like, oh, hold up, this is not just some, you know, emails that are being exchanged. This guy is very, very, very serious about his intentions, which is awesome. Good for him. I love a man who is very straightforward and intentional, so props. However, this is when I had to check in with myself and be like, okay, well, are you reciprocating any feelings, or what's going on with you? Because I'm not one to play games. And so when I really realized he wanted to be intentional very quickly, I was like, okay, I need to figure this out. So at this point, I was almost like, okay, well, I felt like in my gut, in my heart, I just wasn't sure, I wasn't confident that I was just returning the feelings, or I didn't have mutual interest. However, I wasn't sure, and I knew the only way to figure it out was to talk to them. So they suggested that we FaceTime, and I will let you know, I did not give out any of my personal information or phone number or anything throughout this time, because that is not something I would be comfortable with. And we agreed to use an external app to like FaceTime. So we just used Skype. So we arranged to have a Skype call. after, this is one, I would say this is like 3 days from when I got the original email. So this moved pretty quickly. Anyway, so we ended up Skyping, and he was who he said he was, so that's good. And he was extremely nervous. I found it was a bit hard for him to just like complete his thoughts or form sentences, and I don't know, I've just never seen anyone that nervous to talk to me, which made me feel less nervous. However, I think this was when I realized that it could be like infatuation and lust can have that effect on someone, and if like talking to me makes you uncomfortable to a point you can't be yourself, I don't really want that. Like, I want someone who can be themselves around me and doesn't need to overthink anything or overthink what they're saying. Second thing was, I asked how he knew who I was, and he found me through, he had said he watched some of my videos before, and then later on recently was searching for like a Hawaii travel video, and then found my travel video and mentioned that he was trying to like deepen his relationship with God again. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, noted. He hasn't had a deep relationship with God and is just now trying to get back into it. And I think that's something to be very aware of, ladies. If a guy is talking about like they are trying to get back on track with God, that is not the time for them to be in a relationship. And I have learned that the hard way. A man must be very settled in his faith, and not to say we're not going to have ups and downs, like we do, but if they've fallen away for quite a while and they're just finding their way back, and then they see this godly woman and then they're like infatuated, it kind of like connected the dots, like, okay, he's searching for God, however he's getting distracted by me. So then I started kind of like, I don't feel like this is the right timing in his life. So that's just something to pay attention to. If a guy has maybe said like he's fallen away but coming back, make sure he builds his foundation with God before pursuing you, because it's when I just wouldn't want to build a foundation with someone who's figuring it out and figuring out his relationship with God. Like, the man I'm going to be with will have that solid foundation prior. You know what I'm saying? So that is the second thing I like really noted in my mind. And this is what it means to be intentional. And some people might think this is crazy because you go on Bumble or Tinder and you message about stupid stuff. Not stupid, but just like surface level things for like weeks, and then you like go on a date after like 3 weeks, and then you meet him, and then you go on like another date, and then you have sex with him, and then it's just not very common to be this intentional. But I thought I would share it because I think it's super interesting and just a testament to maybe how dating should really be, and the fact that I'm really paying attention to what he's saying and what we're talking about, and noting like where he's at in his faith and how he like the words choices he's using and how he's acting when he talks to me. I'm paying very close attention because I'm protecting my heart, but I'm also protecting his. Okay, deep breaths. I just went into a tangent. Okay, the camera overheated because this story is, I can't even say it. It's so bad, I can't. I was going to say because this story's too hot and I couldn't go through with it. I'm sorry. I think I left off at the FaceTime. So basically, like I was saying, very intentional guy. And at this point during the FaceTime, like I said, he was very nervous, and it's very hard to get to know someone if they are super nervous. It's really hard to see their true character or if you guys have a genuine connection. But at this point, since he was very nervous, and just in general, I don't know if I really felt a genuine connection. And so when he asked me to he was actually going to be not having any technology for a week. And I just told him that I definitely did not want to commit to having him visit, and I don't think that would be a good idea. However, I just need some time to think it over. Since he's very nervous, maybe we could FaceTime again and see how it goes. And I kind of just left it at that and told him to have a nice week. And yes, so then within 1 or 2 days, I think I just sent him an email, because at that point I really like prayed and knew in my heart that it just wasn't for me. I just didn't feel that connection with him, and yeah, and that was basically it. I don't really need a ton of reasons as to why. Bottom line was just that feeling, or just that connection wasn't there on my side. Just told him I wished him the best, and that I really hope he works on his relationship with God, and I just don't think it's on my heart to move forward with this. And I think it's very interesting. Girls, pay attention to how men respond to rejection, because I think rejection is very telling of a man's character and how they respond to it. Because some people will throw fits, and this guy, he did not throw a fit. However, I was very keen to see how he would respond to rejection. And he replied with something like, now he feels stupid, and he wished I would have just said something on FaceTime, and how he knew he shouldn't have put his heart and soul into these letters, and it would end in heartbreak. I think it's very telling how a man deals with rejection, because that is something that you have to trust God with. And if being vulnerable and sharing your feelings makes you feel stupid and regretful after the fact, I don't think your intentions were completely pure, because you had an expectation of what you expected to happen. But if you really surrendered it to God and it didn't work out, you would trust God and knowing that, you know, he has something better. And I've been there. I have been on the other side of this, where a guy literally told me the same thing, as it was not on his heart to continue forward. And I just said, thank you, you know, and I wish him the best. And I took that and I just asked God what he wanted me to learn from it. And I grew so much spiritually. So in this case, by him like calling himself stupid, it just kind of goes to show that his value was going to come from my answer instead of God's answer. So I don't know. I hope that he learned an amazing lesson through this, because I know when it happened to me, I learned so much, and I took it and ran with it. When this situation happened to me, I took everything and every minute and just used it to reflect and grow and prepare myself, and I hope he does the same thing. That is an update on my single diaries. A little bit of action, I suppose, in my inbox. Man. Alright guys, so that is all for this story time. Let me know your thoughts on this man's approach, and this is not an open invitation to send me love letters to my email address. That is for business inquiries only, still thanks. But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Let me know if anything similar has happened to you. Let me know how y'all are doing in your season of singleness. I want to hear all about it in the comments. I do my best to reply, especially when I first post. I'm always replying to comments. You can also feel free to message me on Instagram. This is what my handle is, in case you need a reminder, and it will also be linked below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you like me being vulnerable and giving you personal, intimate details of my life. Give this video a thumbs up and turn on post notifications so you can be notified as soon as things get posted. Maybe I'll just keep doing this until you subscribe. Is it uncomfortable? I don't know. I hope not. Okay, goodbye. This is how we're ending it. Okay. Okay, peace out. How long are you gonna stay and watch this dance and moves? Oh yeah, we're still going, and we're going, and we're going, gone. You need to